I made no judgments on that training or that judgment.
I don't remember, Sarge. What's your last name? I forgot. I need to tell the people.
I haven't asked your name. What is your name? I don't know.
What's your name, Sarge? Name and badge number? That is a policy now. There is a policy on how you're supposed to respond. So I would encourage you to respond to me. If you need to know the policy, I have it on my stuff.
You already know my name and badge.
I don't, sir. I don't remember it. I don't remember what it was.
I wasn't here for that. What is your name and badge number?
There you go. He doesn't know.
John Eisen.
John Eisen?
Eisen.
0034.
That's Sergeant Eisen, 0034, Schertz Police Department.
Now, if you'll notice,
He's one of the worst guys. We're having a conversation with him, so y'all can listen.
I'm being respectful to you.
I won't be questioning comments because I want to catch all this.
I'm not here with him. I don't know him. We're not friends. I've never had a beer with the guy.
Have I shaken your hand? I don't remember if I did. I don't think we have.
No,
Are you married to
I think we did a fist bump.
Are you married to someone? You're married to her?
I'm married to her.
Okay, so yeah, I remember him through her because I've seen her speak a few times. But I don't know, Sarge.
He might not be, but I'm not responsible for him.
Sarge, when you
You're going
hold
to
on,
hold me responsible
I question.
for the actions of another citizen.
We're all together, according to you. That's what you said a minute ago. We're all together. So we're like,
You're
do
gonna
you mean that we're all Negroes,
Each of us
or we're just like
accountable
all?
for the actions
pissing you
of
off?
other citizens. So if I walked out and socked my kid in the eye, you'd arrest him? If we're all the same and we're all accountable for each other, if I just kicked an old lady, would you arrest him?
Yeah, Sarge doesn't want to talk now. He talked very little earlier.
This is a question of your judgment.
He almost left when I asked him a really hard
And
question.
it's a simple question.
And then he got really pissed when I told a councilwoman to comb her hair. Now he doesn't want to talk.
If you hold us all in the same accord as one person, then any of us can do a crime, and you must arrest all of us, right? Right?
This citizen has some pretty good points. I wanted to catch it on the live stream to let you guys see it. He's making some pretty good points.
Is that not correct? You just said you're done with all of us. You're done with you, you're done with you, you're done with all of us. We're all the same, and we're not talking to you. Because apparently I was disrespectful by questioning your judgment and asking what constitutes reasonable force. It's a simple question. Any of us citizens can answer it. And we have no training. No. I haven't been trained by you or you or you or anybody here.
No,
And yet even I can answer that it doesn't take 11 officers to hold one kid. Especially after that kid's been tased, been kicked, been maced. Doesn't take 11 officers.
I can't get his name tag. He's hiding it.
So, if we're all a group here, are they part of the group?
This is one of the good officers. If y'all ever see him out here, he's one of the good ones.
If we're all a
And
group
if
here,
you notice, he's not hiding his name tag.
and everybody in this building
This is one of the bad ones. And
is
if you
accounted
notice,
for
he's
as
hiding
the
his
same
name tag.
person. Are they part of the group?
That's what they do. They don't want you to know their name.
Would you talk to him? Would you talk to him?
You could embroider your name on your jacket. If you need some money, I will give it to you to embroider your name on your jacket.
What? I don't understand.
It would look better,
Would you
Sarge.
talk to him? We might not talk to him.
Then you wouldn't have to say your name reluctantly. You could just point at it like everybody else does. Say it's on my
But
chest.
if we're all one being and one person and all accountable for the actions of the other, what if that officer shot that officer? Would you arrest every single one of us? How would you do so? Because last I checked, you said you had 6 on duty, 7 on duty here. Would you have to call in more forces? Because they're both armed.
Me too.
Or would you just let them sort it out because they have the same weaponry and the same forces?
We're all of
The
us.
same
All of us.
training? Would you just let them sort it out individually?
Point of order. We're all armed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you just Would you just let them fight it out by themselves? Or would you take the surroundings into account and say there are innocent civilians around and they must be protected? Would you use force to restrain both of the officers?
Oh, you guys are gonna load the video
Or
that I
just
shot
one?
prior to all this. Sergeant was stupid.
Would you arrest the citizens for the officers' actions? Would you arrest the ones outside because we're all one group? If he shot him, would you arrest him because he got shot? Because obviously he was being rude and questioning you?
No, there's no problem, guys.
Since we're all one group.
They're listening to the citizens
If I
talk.
ask a question, he asks a question, right?
But this sergeant right here is
If I ask the question, he
he-
asks the question, right?
he's a wild card. He's about as dirty
Same
as they come.
questions. Same people. So if he shot him, who do you arrest? And how do you do it? I'm not saying you would. I think you're a little more restrained than that. I would hope.
Me?
No, man.
Oh, good.
I would hope. I mean, you got a bad gun. I would hope you'd at least got something that says you know how to use it.
And just so you know,
But
from
hypothetically.
my investigation, good cop, bad cop. Just so you know.
Okay, good cop one.
But
good
but
cop
if
two.
they say anything, they'll be terminated. That's per the police chief.
That sounds.
And this
about
is the police chief's right hand man.
That sounds about
He'll
right.
snitch on him in a heartbeat.
So, if good cop A shot good cop B, how many cops would it take to restrain good cop A? Would it take 11?
What's up, Corporal?
I mean, how many rounds does your pistol hold? 9? 10?
15 in the clip and 1 in the hole. Nate Dogg is about to make some bodies turn cold.
Okay, so
Right, 16?
there's like 30, 40 people here.
I knew that.
Good cop A, with his training
Glock.
and weaponry, could easily take out at least 9 of us. At least.
Oh, that's not nice. One of my one of my folks said that you need to take your pistol out, take all the bullets except for one, and put the barrel in your mouth and go to town.
Damn.
I'm sorry, I don't control what these guys
That's
say,
rude.
Sarge. I'm sorry.
That's
it is.
rude.
That's what they said. That's not what I said. I don't agree with that. He should leave the clip full
Okay,
in case he misses the first shot.
look, if good officer A snaps, flies off the handle, and just starts popping, he could easily kill 8 or 9 of us before anybody could restrain him, right? Because he's armed. He's had training, he's armed. How many officers would it take to restrain him?
Sarge's mad because I make money
How
off
many?
his stupidity.
Would it take 11? Would it take 12? Would it take 2?
Nick Dogg calls it a clip.
Or would you stand there and pretend you saw nothing so your officer could keep his job?
He would stand there and say nothing. I'll answer that one.
You're doing it right now.
Yeah.
If you hold one accountable,
Here, Sarge.
you hold all accountable.
I turned my live stream off. You can talk now. You don't want to
How
talk no
many
more?
people would it take?
Look at her hair, Sarge. Her hair is very nice. Her hair is very nice. She combed it. But that other councilwoman, she needs to comb her damn hair. I'm sorry.
You asked me earlier,
It looks
how many
like
of you it would take to restrain me?
that councilwoman's hair looks like my pubic area. Oh,
Since
fucked
I
up.
posed hypotheticals and you refuse to answer them, you post a hypothetical and I'll answer it. It'd take one of you. Depending on the situation. If you wanted to arrest me right now, put me in handcuffs and take me to jail, one of you could do it. You know why? Because I've done it. It is the responsibility of the governed to be governed. It is the responsibility of the governor to protect the governed. Your job is to protect and serve. If you so choose to arrest me, I'll go.
No, I'm not turning off the camera. Are you kidding? Not around this Sarge. This Sarge's the worst of the
What would
worst.
you arrest me for?
He had a lot to say before the live stream came on, but I got it all on my body cam. He's an idiot.
You said I was rude, even though you won't say how, because all I've done is ask questions.
Well, CJ, from what I've gathered so far, and I've been investigating all these cops for like 2 years, but even more so in the past few months, this one is actually what I would consider a good one,
Have I
right?
committed a crime?
He's not speaking out against the Rayford incident, but
Have I given
if
you
I
a
had
cause,
to
reasonable-
give him a
reasonable
rating, I would say he's a good one. And that's Corporal who? Corporal Moleda, Molleda. And then this corporal is, I forget your names, I really do, and I can't, it's weird. Oh, Corporal Sutton. He is somebody that I would call a good cop. But that sergeant who now left, look, he disappeared. He did a magic trick.
And I'm the rude one?
Oh, he's been wanting to walk
And
off.
I'm the rude one?
He's been wanting to walk off ever since I told that councilwoman to comb her hair.
Well, that was you.
He got pissed.
I had nothing to do with that.
I think he's going to Pound Town with that councilwoman. We're gonna have to find
I
out.
had nothing to do with that.
Because Sarge is married.
He's holding me accountable for your
That would be,
actions.
yes. When the council, so guys,
Okay,
what happened was
so
this.
He can hold me accountable for your actions.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
He can't hold good cop A accountable for dipshit's actions at being
Yeah.
a kid.
Yeah, so for those of you that are just watching, the councilwoman came out and said we were being too loud, told the sergeant that we needed to quiet down. And I told the councilwoman that she hasn't heard loud yet and she needs to go comb her hair. And Sarge got pissed.
I said okay.
And he decides he's not gonna talk to this citizen anymore and basically said, we're all the same. I'm not talking to any of y'all. Well, he kept talking
Excuse me, officer.
because he can't remember what he said, but anyway, that's what happened.
Corporal Moyeda. Corporal Moyeda.
Corporal Moyeda?
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 Yeah, you gotta.
Did I say that?
It's close enough.
He'll answer.
It's disrespectful to pronounce somebody's name.
You've probably
wrong.
been called 100 things, right? Because it's hard to pronounce your name.
Yeah. How do you spell it?
He'll answer to anything.
M-O-L-L-E-D.
Is it on your?
It's easier right there.
Oh, it's with a D. Okay, I thought it was an R.
No, he told him what his name was. He was just showing him how it's spelled. These guys, when I first came here, first thing I did was ask for name and badge numbers, and they just gave it to me
Corporal Sutton.
instantly.
Sutton. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Moyeda? Sutton. Okay.
This particular department does have a policy that requires them to give their name and badge number, and they did. I already tested them on that last month. So
Your sergeant will talk to me.
they did. Let me get that door for you, sir.
Can you answer the question?
Yeah. Come on, Sarge. Come out and talk to us. Don't be scared.
Neither of
Sarge
you
is-
answer the question?
Sarge is hanging out inside now.
You're not allowed to very close your door.
Oh, they need to put up a sign, dipshit.
Was he right?
That was Sarge. He said, "You're not allowed in here. Close the
When you
door."
said earlier that you guys might lose your job.
Oh, that was funny.
Talk to me. Was he right? You don't have to say anything.
Oh yeah, Sarge is mad. He's
You don't
super
have to say
mad.
anything.
He did the right thing by walking off.
Did he though? Because we're still here.
Well, he did the right thing by walking off. He was getting very upset, and I think he finally realized, oh man, because I can push a dirty cop's
You
buttons.
can, but what did I do?
Oh, dude, I've already lit him up before you came in.
Well, that's fine, but I'm a different person.
I lit his,
He's holding me
dude,
accountable.
I lit his fuse, stomped on it, kicked it, and poured gas on it.
Me accountable for you,
That's what bad cops do.
but he can't hold himself accountable for those other cops.
In situations like this, good cops like this, they just remain quiet and they let you vent because you're venting, you're asking questions or whatever. They'll answer. Yeah, and they'll answer what they're allowed to, and they won't say anything that's going to get them fired. Is that the councilwoman that needs to comb her hair?
No.
Well, she needs to comb her hair too. She needs to comb her hair. Her hair is pretty good. Now, her hair could use her hair could use a brush, but it looks all right though. Let me see. We're gonna grade everybody's hair as they come out.
So, how many officers does it take to respond to a nonviolent situation?
Oh, Sarge locked the door. I was gonna tell him to come outside and watch me grade everybody's hair. Her hair looks good. Her hair looks good. Her hair looks great. His hair looks great. There's a councilwoman there, and her hair looks beautiful.
I was trying to hold it for
That
people
other
like-
councilwoman, she needs
It's
definitely.
not.
Oh, and that's Schertz, token African American councilwoman. Yeah, she likes to watch look at her phone while people are talking, and then make comments with her mouth and smirks. We got all that on camera tonight. We had the camera pointed at her the entire time. You should see the faces she makes when people make comments. Completely inappropriate of a council.
It's Mayor Stopwatch.
Mr. Mayor?
I do have a moment, sir.
Okay, come on.
Okay. Yeah, unless Sarge comes back. If Sarge comes back, we're definitely talking to that dude.
Well, he hasn't answered my question, so I'd really like to.
Okay.
We talk private.
Okay, first of all, I try to be very respectful. I try to get the council that, yeah, just, it's not required. Okay. I thought I made myself clear, and we'll go by my watch.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have gone, so that you could have seen those lights go on, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm doing the best I can to accommodate you.
I know you are.
One thing I disapprove of, you don't know what's behind your door. We
What
have
door?
to be more cautious.
What door?
When you slam the door coming out.
Oh, they could have opened it for me. They could have got it.
Well, they could.
I was mad.
I'm just saying, we just need to be more cautious.
Just so you know, Mayor, I know it was on the other side of that door, because it was planned and I had my boys on the other side making sure. I'm not gonna hurt anybody here. Listen, I know how that goes. I'll tell you something.
Thank you.
My antics are meant to drive a point home.
I understand.
And I will do everything in my power to make sure that nobody is hurt
Thank
anybody
you,
whatsoever.
thank you.
And I appreciate you. Thank you for asking.
Okay.
All
All right,
right,
sir.
one more thing here. On the time thing, I appreciate the fact that you kind of backed up and gave it 3 minutes. But I think in the future, if that happens again, I think the most appropriate thing to do is just give everybody time out. Restart the clock.
I
Because
agree.
as we're talking, we're depending on, we got a lot of points, right? We're watching that timer go down, and we may jump to something else that we feel more.
But I'm accountable to my council, so. All right, sir.
I'll be quiet until you reset the
All
clock.
right.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay.
That was the mayor. Guys, that was the mayor. After I spoke tonight, and it'll be on video, after I spoke, I let the council know that because the officer, Chavarria, told that guy that if he did not calm down, he was going to get it. I let them know that I was going to be 10 times more aggressive and mean than Mr. Rayford was. And then I told the council that not one person on the council, nor the people seating, nor the police are going to do a goddamn thing about it. And I turned around, and there were 2 officers standing at this door right here on the inside, and I yelled at them to move. They didn't move, so I walked right between them, past them, and I shoved the doors open. Now, the mayor was concerned that there might have been somebody on the other side of the door. I assured the mayor that there was not, and I made sure there was not anybody on the other side of the door. So, you know. But it was just to drive a point home that people don't have to calm down. It would be nice if they would calm down, but the police really can't do anything to somebody that doesn't want to calm down. And, you know, the officers that were standing at that door probably said, oh shit, but, you know, they did the right thing. They didn't do anything because, you know, I wasn't breaking the law when I did that. I probably made them feel very uncomfortable. I guarantee you the 2 officers that were standing at the door felt way more uncomfortable than Officer Chavarria did facing Mr. Rayford. And they didn't do anything. And it's not because I'm white. I know a lot of you guys say, oh, they didn't do anything to you because you're white. No, they didn't do anything to me because there are some good officers here at Schertz that do follow the law. Hell no, he's gonna be hiding the rest of the night.
Still going?
Sarge, hey, he just came in, want to know if the officer he was talking to came back. That was Sarge, and Sarge is gonna hide the rest of the night.
I really want an answer.
No, Sarge is gonna
He's
hide.
a public servant. He needs to serve. Where's my answer
Hey,
to my question?
I sent an email tonight to myself and I said, Sarge is gonna run and hide. I called that one.
Where's the answer to my question?
Hey, can y'all tell Sarge we're not gonna hurt him, he can come back outside?
I have posed no violent threat. I have been nothing but respectful, and I demand an answer to my question.
Is there something going on in there that I need to know about?
Open right now, they're right out of the workshop.
Oh, okay, but there's nothing going on. I just see like, oh no, you 2 guys were inside And you two guys, okay, it just seemed like there were a lot of officers present.
You in
I
there?
thought maybe something was fixing to go on. He's standing inside that door and he locked it.
They're having an executive session.
Oh.
Yeah, they're gonna have the workshop in there.
Okay, yeah. They probably need to throw a sign on that door, right?
That's why we're here, to let you know.
Okay.
It could take anywhere from 15 to an hour, they've gone as long as.
Dude, they could go all night if they have to. Yeah. They're doing executive session. Wherever it says executive session on the agenda, that's what they're doing right now, and that's closed to the public. Dude, how hard would it be to like throw a sign on there that says, "Do not enter executive session in progress"? You know what I mean? It's like a temporary sign. I didn't know that that's where they do executive session. I thought they did it like behind those doors. I did. I thought they did it behind those doors. That's why I grabbed the handle. Yeah.
It just depends.
Okay. I had grabbed the handle and shook.
Public, they were doing it in there, but they said.
Okay. I grabbed the. He's another good one. I grabbed the door and shook it because I had no idea they were doing the executive
None of
session.
you
Sorry.
answered my question? Were you like forbidden from answering my question? You weren't here for the question. I'll give you that. Are you guys like under penalty of termination or something for not answering my question? I don't understand.
I call myself kind of a police educator, so I'll educate you guys. If you can't answer a citizen's question, just say, "I'm not allowed to answer that question." It doesn't hurt anything. My department prohibits me from answering that question, or I can't answer that question. I'm not allowed to. Just explain why. Instead of like Sarge was just sitting there, what looks like ignoring the citizen, right? If he can't answer the questions, he should just say, "Look, my department has instructed me not to answer any questions." And that's it. Makes you look better.
Have you guys been instructed not to answer my question? A simple head nod if you're
I'm gonna go to the mystery.
Give me a hand sign, something that tells me you guys are either gonna answer my question or not. Can you communicate in any way? No?
So to save you some time, they've been instructed to not respond or engage citizens who are here in protest of their actions.
I'm not protesting anything at the moment.
Like, hold on. And let me show you. Like these officers here, how they're all talking to
You see
citizens.
me with a sign? You see me?
They're all talking to citizens because they're
I
allowed
just
to.
asked a question.
But if a citizen is here and they're obviously in protest of the actions that happened, they're not allowed to talk to the citizen. That's how it's working right now in Schertz. Unfortunately, that's how it's working.
Okay, so here's my thing.
They can talk to
How are you going
citizens.
in protest of the, whatever. I asked a simple question. When I spoke in there, did I bring the kid up?
But at the last meeting, you spoke out
No,
against.
it's the last meeting, sure.
Right.
But this is a different
So
session.
the last meeting you spoke out against the officers in that situation. So from now on, you're going to be considered a person who was against that situation, and their department has silenced these officers from speaking to anybody that's against that situation.
Of course they have, because God forbid rats on a ship sink with the ship.
Now these cops didn't make that rule. That's coming from the police chief.
I know, they're just covering their own ass.
That's coming from the police chief who is too much of a coward to show up to these meetings.
Yeah, I'd like to know.
Even Joe Salvaggio, Leon Valley Police Chief, is brave enough to show up to the meetings, but their police chief is not.
Nobody can answer my question. It was a simple question.
No, the chief is not here. The chief is not here. The police chief showed his face once, and then when I aimed a camera at him, he took off. He acted like he got a text from his boyfriend.
And your inaction tells me A, cowardice, B, complacency, or C, you're complicit. Which is it? A, B, or C? Or D, all of the above?
You're not gonna give me an option like E?
What's E?
Anything I want?
Sure, what do you want?
Nothing.
What do you mean? You don't want nothing?
I didn't
Why
hear
can't you answer my question?
I didn't hear the question. I was
My question is-
I was looking in there.
Why can't you talk to me?
Oh. Like, can y'all at least like say why you're not answering anything at all? He's asked. I mean, people have asked a lot of questions, and you guys obviously are not
Nice,
answering any
decent,
questions.
Simple question with a simple answer.
Like that would get rid of it. If you're not allowed to respond to those questions, simply saying that would get rid of it because I wouldn't waste my time anymore. If I knew you were not allowed. If I don't know that you're not allowed, then I'm going to try my best to get an answer.
Are you really
You know
not
what I mean?
allowed to? Did somebody tell you you're not allowed to answer me? As a citizen, I really want to know. Because if that's the case, you're not the people I need to be talking to in the first damn place. If somebody told you not to talk to me, then I need to go to that somebody. But I can't go to that somebody unless one of you says why you're not talking to me.
You're right, folks. It should be against the law for a public official like a mayor to say that he's going to not speak.
Why can't any of you speak to me?
It should be a crime.
Because you're complicit.
It's not.
The action's going on.
It's
and
not.
You're doing nothing to stop it.
It'll cost them their job if they do.
A job is a job.
But in all fairness, if speaking out at your employer would cost you your job and your ability to provide for your family, you would think long and hard before you spoke out about something,
No,
right?
there's right and there is wrong.
Okay.
Plain and simple.
Well, you're like
Your
I
employer
am.
does something wrong and you do nothing to stop it, you are wrong too. If your employer threatens your job for speaking against a wrong committed, you have a duty and a responsibility to choose right over wrong and speak out.
Hey,
The fact that you're all silent means you're complacent.
Hey, this door's locked. Just like step up. Yeah, there you go. I know the games police play. Just make sure that people can access that door.
You're complicit.
This one's locked though. You can stand in front of this one. People can't get out of this one or in this one, right? You can't.
I'm not standing in front of it anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just don't block. They'll sometimes police play that game. They won't, but Sarge will.
This isn't an issue of job. This is an issue of morality, of right versus wrong. You all see the wrong, you all know the wrong, and you're choosing to accept the wrong. You're choosing your job over duty, over responsibility, and over what's deeply and morally right. And that makes you all morally wrong.
City Council is in the executive session, so everybody's standing by.
When you meet your gods, whichever they are, you can explain it to him.
CJ Grissom says if you guys truly care about liberty, take off the
You
face.
guys Christians,
Take off the face diapers.
because Jesus said, whatever you do for the least of these, my brothers, you also do for me. You know what that means, right? That means to stand by while the little guy is hurt is to hurt the little guy. To do nothing in the face of oppression and moral wrong is to commit that moral wrong.
Hey, did
But your pocketbook is worth more than your eternal soul, isn't it? You stand there and you pray in the beginning of the meeting so fervently, but you're just saying words that you don't even believe. You're all practicing mouth speech for a God that doesn't even listen. Congratulations. Until you stand and do something right, you can do nothing but wrong.
No, one of the officers didn't want to be on camera, so he did the right thing. He didn't say anything. He just moved off the camera, so
It's a damn shame.
we can't blame him for that.
Each and every one of you ought to be ashamed
He's
to be this complicit.
standing over here. So you can't
There are good officers.
hound him for that.
There are people that can do the job and do it well. But doing the job
Yeah.
means standing up against those that do it wrong.
Somebody said, I bet if you guys don't get paid,
Doing the job right
unless you speak, you
means
speak.
you need to speak out. Put yourself on the line like you put yourself on the line every day and protect and serve. Because if you don't, you're complicit.
Yeah, stay clear of the door. Stay clear of the door. It's easy to forget that, but trust me, I've been arrested for that. Blocking the doorway. And I wasn't blocking the doorway. But
One day, each and every one of you is going
Another-
to have a moral crisis.
another case dismissed.
It might not be this. It might be something worse. Might be something smaller. But each and every one of you has a hard job, and you're going to face a moral crisis when you think, is this the right thing to do? Did that person do the right thing?
First officer I've seen
If you
sanitize
choose
your hand
to
all night.
protect them like you're choosing to protect them right now, you might as well have done the wrong thing yourself. Like your sergeant can hold each and every one of us accountable for the actions of another, why are you not held accountable for the actions of the other?
Yeah, you can tell the good cops and the bad cops. So you got your blue line face mask. You got your blue. There's your blue line
Blue
gang
lines
symbol.
don't exist, bro.
Blue-
I don't know if anybody told you that.
There's your blue line gang.
Blue lines is a
Symbol.
job, not a
And then
race, not a species, not
He
a
has
class.
a
It's
medical
job.
mask.
Blue lines
right?
don't exist.
He got a medical mask, and I'm sorry, man, but look at this officer, cool as shit. Look at that, Batman, right? Isn't that
One of
cool?
these days, bro,
There ain't nothing wrong with that.
people are gonna learn why
Nothing
you
wrong
do what
with
you do.
No,
Really do what you do.
that is not Wu
And it
Tang
starts
Clan.
here.
They think
You
it's
can
Wu
either
Tang.
stand for the right and do something to protect it, or you can stand with the fellow officers that did something wrong, and you know it.
That's what I told him. Things would just, hey man, thank you, man. I didn't expect.
Wisconsin fired up tonight? Do you know?
I didn't expect that. Huh? Do what?
Do you know Wisconsin is fired up tonight?
Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Something happened?
Yeah, they're not charging us officers with anything.
Refresh my memory. What
Like,
happened?
we shot the guy that was gonna reach in the car, the black guy, wounded him. There was 2 officers.
What was his name? Do you know? Okay. I don't recall that one. I've probably seen
It
it.
just came out today.
I've probably seen it.
Well, I'm sure you have, but
I'm trying to think Wisconsin.
they're not charging the officers with anything.
He was in a car.
Yeah.
And he was reaching for something.
Yeah, it was
Is
at
that
a
the guy that was with his girlfriend?
Yeah,
And it was live streamed?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
And they're not charging it? Oh.
Jacob Lake, yeah, it won't pay charge.
I'm sure that place is gonna burn down.
That's what-
I'm
that's a little
sure.
earlier.
I mean, that dude should have been charged. I thought he was. I stopped following that thing. I just assumed that dude was getting charged. I did a bunch of research on that case, and I kept seeing so many things. I'm like, oh, this dude's. I'll just wait for this dude to have his trial. They decided not to charge him. Holy shit!
He announced no charges against officers from Dave Bush.
Wow. Well, at that time, I wasn't even recording or live streaming. I just wanted to feel comfortable. Know where my fucking battery go.
Yeah, that's great.
Wow. Oh boy. Yeah, that's gonna be another. It sucks, man. It really sucks. I don't know. Oh, did I get the?
No.
What?
Ghost, man.
Huh?
Ghost.
I know. It just opened on its own.
Oh, he must have.
Did you mess with it?
Accident, I bumped my head.
Oh, you bumped it. Oh man. Are they so do they have any items on there after executive session? You know?
If they want to discuss what they discuss in there, they can. If not,
Other
they
than
don't.
that, it's done?
Other than that, it's done.
Okay, all right, cool. Did y'all get any context to what I was saying? Were any of y'all in there when I was talking? Yeah, so
I was on here like I usually do.
I brought up, well, first there was a little discussion about my address. Because they all voted that they're gonna enforce the address rule. So when I got up there, like it says on the thing, I said, currently I'm homeless. I'm working on establishing my residency. By next time, we'll have an address for you, and Mayor, it might be your address, it might be the police chief's address, it might be one of the city council members' address, I don't know. So, but what I'm gonna do, for instance, Mayor, is I'll take a cot that I sleep on, I'll put it half on the sidewalk and half on your property, so that way I'm not blocking the sidewalk, but not trespassing, because trespassing, your entire body has to enter the property, that's a fact. And, but I haven't decided where I'm gonna do that at yet, so if you could kindly just provide me your address, then I can give you an address. Or maybe somebody on the city council can provide their address, and I'll give you an address, but until then, and he's like, nah, that ain't gonna work, right? So then, the token, I call her the token African American councilwoman, she, she goes, I wouldn't even pay attention to her dumbass when she talks, but anyway, she said something like, we have to have an address. And I said, certainly if I'm homeless, I hope that my homeless status doesn't prevent me from speaking at a public meeting. I'd give you an address if I had one. I just got kicked out right before this meeting of where I was staying, so I would be lying if I gave you that address. I don't have an address yet. I'm homeless. I might sleep right outside, right here on the sidewalk. I don't know yet. What do you do? What do you do? Do you prevent me from talking because I don't have an address? That's what they tried to do. The mayor said, okay, you don't have an address, you can't talk. So I said, okay, well, Mayor, I don't have a residence, so what should a homeless person use as an address? I don't know. This is the first time I've ever been homeless. Maybe a shelter address. Okay, 200 North Pole Mountain, San Antonio, Texas, 7205. You know what that is, right?
The jail.
It's a jail. And I told him, I said, I'm gonna use the jail's address because that's probably where I'm gonna end up tonight after I'm done speaking. So, anyway. So we got past that issue, right? He went ahead and accepted the jail address. And you guys do know that my address is public, right? It's all over the internet, including a video of the inside of my house. And I'm a public figure. I'm a YouTube personality. All my shit's public. I don't try to hide anything. Sometimes I play the license plate game, like trying to hide my vehicle when I'm out filming and cops are trying to look for it. But it's just because they're trying to look for it. That's all. That's the only reason I do that. So I play games with them. Like I'll go to my truck, I'll hop in, and I already have it planned. Here they come, and I take boom, and I stay on private property, but I go fast. And they're trying to catch me, and it's funny as fuck. It's like a chase, but not a chase. I did that to you guys out here in front of the rec center. We were going around in circles, and he was trying to catch up to me, and finally he did. And then he stopped, and so then I went around and pulled behind him, almost bumper to bumper. It's hilarious. He finally decided to move on after a couple of minutes. So funny. So after that, then he said, go ahead and speak. But the timer was already running. Like when I walked up there, it said 1 minute and 29 seconds. It was still counting down. I was like, I need my 3 minutes. And he was like, go ahead and talk. And I'm like, I need my 3 minutes. So then he decided to catch it. Instead of waiting the 40 seconds to let the timer or restart the clock, it was a pissing contest. Because I was telling him what to do, reset the clock. And give me my 3 minutes. The whole city council was up here discussing my resident status. And the timer was going. Now there's 1 minute and 40 seconds left. Just reset the timer. And he wouldn't do it because I told him to. He's gonna go, I'm gonna go buy my watch. I'm like, are you kidding me? The timer is important and it faces the person speaking so that way they can keep track of the time and make sure they get all their important points in, right? That's what we were talking about outside.
Just trying to figure out what my life's looking to do.
Oh, then I handed everybody in the city council the child raised training records from the state. And I explained to them that he hasn't had taser training since 2015. He hasn't had OC spray training since 2016. He hasn't had any training in almost a year. Currently, he's behind on his required hours for the training cycle. And if he does not get those hours in, then you don't need to pull his license. That's what's supposed to happen. Or I think if it's his first time, he probably gets like he probably gets some type of.
Well, you got till September. You got till September to complete your hours for this training cycle. And Chico's here. I hate my school.
But he's already half into the training cycle and none. And it's like, and I get it. I did the same thing, and I would just like crown him in. But it seems so far during his career that's what he's done. If you look at the dates, he like crowns him at the very end of the training cycle.
It's hard to find training right now.
Yeah, especially now.
I mean,
Nobody's offering in-person classes, all the classes you need to advance your
Are-
license are being canceled because they won't hold
Right.
in-person classes, and
yeah,
nobody's got the capabilities or the manpower or the
Look,
dollar
man.
amount to start doing virtual training.
look, let me tell you, just so you know, between me and you, I'm gonna be the one whenever, I've been aware of that. And I've been aware of that dynamic. So I have applied my investigative skills in retrieving and gathering information. So when the time comes that in one of my lawsuits or in one of my videos where an officer is doing something, and obviously in almost every situation of officer wrongdoing, there's some training issues. When a police officer or a city says what you just said, I'm gonna be there on the forefront saying, bullshit, and this is why. So don't, get your training done.
No, there's some training,
Get your training done.
there's some training you can't get done, so if I have a basic and I want to go to intermediate or I want to go to intermediate to advanced, there's certain classes that you would know that you can't take if they don't put them on.
What I'm talking about is training to satisfy the state requirements.
Oh, that's just
for-
hour amount.
Right, hours, to get your hours. There are some officers that are like behind on their hours that I'm pretty sure their response to TCO is gonna be, hey, there wasn't training available. That's the general consensus.
No,
Because the
because I
classes
found
they
out that there's
wanted.
plenty of stuff they can find to meet the needs of the hours.
Bro, there's an officer in Bear County that already has it planned out. He hates training. And he's already documented several courses where he's gone in and tried to register, and he's taking screenshots that the classes aren't available because they're in person. And this is his mentality. He's being snitched on by his buddies. This is his buddies that love my channel and they want to see him busted out. They're just entertained by it, I guess. So his mentality is that if I show, I'm not gonna do the training, and when TCO says, hey, you haven't done your training, I'll be like, look at all these screenshots that I've tried and I can't. The problem is, I don't think TCO is gonna buy that.
No, they don't buy much of anything anymore.
Yeah. I mean, well, what's it, if I remember correctly, the ethics and law enforcement, you get on there and finish that course in about 3 minutes. And you print out the material and read it afterwards.
Well, they put a time limit on it now.
Where it keeps you from going through it, right?
Yeah, there's a certain time limit that holds
Okay.
you accountable for, but.
I get it,
It's
but in all
like
honesty,
4 hours of credit.
if a bad cop wanted to skirt it, they could. They could actually get those hours without actually sitting down at that computer. There's ways to do that if a cop wanted to do that. So my point is this, obviously your good cops are gonna stay up on the training, okay? I have no doubt that you're gonna have your required training. There's other cops that, even though they could skirt it, they're just not gonna do it. And those are the guys I'm interested in. Chowdery, no taser training since 2014. I'm sorry, I can't wait to hear if I can ever get anybody to tell me why he was carrying a taser with no training. That's a burning question I have. Right now, the city is, I'm up here screaming cover up, and there's people that think I'm being unreasonable and just spurting off bullshit. But I have email after email after email of the attorneys that the city hired fighting the release of every piece of information I'm asking for. Why would you fight the release of the taser download? I'll tell you why. I already know what the taser download says. I got it. And it hasn't been, you have to do what is it called, spark test or something like that?
Functionality test?
Yeah. And it hasn't been done in months. And they don't want me to find information that shows that taser he used wasn't kept for months. I think Taser calls it a spark test. I'm not sure. They have
Spark or a functionality test.
Yeah.
But also, a lot of things will come into factor. Was that taser issued to somebody before him? Was it just issued to him? How long did
True.
you have a taser? There's all kinds of different
True.
conditions that you
But there wasn't one done on that day.
pertain on that one.
But there wasn't one done on that day he used it. And so I at least know that on the day that it was assigned to him. I'm trying, and on the taser, being that he was carrying it that night, I requested his schedule. Going back, ever since that taser came online, I requested his schedule going back to when he got hired to see when he carried that taser. They know that's what I'm looking at. They're fighting the release of it. And I have get that information from all kinds of other departments. They just say, here you go. Bam. And so I don't think it's unreasonable that I'm upset and thinking that they're trying to hide stuff. Their policy, their code of conduct or general rule policy for the police manual, they're fighting the release of it. I just read off stuff from it because I have it. You know where I got it? I got it 2 years ago. You know where? Right there from this. They didn't even charge me for it. It was all official. Public records request, the whole thing. And they gave it to me. And the right hand doesn't know what, the right hand of tyranny doesn't know what the left hand of tyranny is doing because they're fighting the release of something that the left hand is fighting the release of something that the left hand already gave. There's only one conclusion to draw from that. And that is, why aren't they releasing it now? Because I'm asking it in response to this incident. And they're gonna make it as difficult as possible for me to go in there and do what I did tonight. I said the police investigated for a while, and they found one policy violation about being polite. I literally, you'll have to believe me on this, spent about 6 minutes, and I found eight policy violations. And I'm not even done. So that's just what occurred at the door. That's not including the hour of body cam and dash cam that I still have to review of everybody standing around jacking their fucking jaw. Shut up when your body cam's on. What do I gotta say about that? Just shut up. We're gonna get them, and we're gonna spend all kinds of time doing it. In my mom's basement because I don't have a job. I never go anywhere. That's the general consensus. I went over that training stuff, or the lack of training, and then I went into the policy, the fact that they found one policy violation and I found 8. And I talked about, one of the policies is that you guys have to not violate civil rights of people. Civil rights include the 4th Amendment against unreasonable search and seizure. And, one of your officers searched his backpack and did not have probable cause to do so. That's not just me talking, that's from the DA. The DA is talking, Schertz isn't, the DA is. And the DA gave the reason they dismissed the marijuana charge. Because his bag was searched without probable cause. Should have got a warrant for it. You guys know that. Well, you should know. You should know that a backpack in the trunk that's locked, in that situation, you need to get a search warrant for it. The DA dropped the charge. So, but obviously the officer that searched it didn't know maybe? I don't know. The officer went through arrest, search, and seizure 4 times. Took arrest, search, and seizure 4 times. So I don't know where they missed that. I mean, that's... What's that? They did. But the decision to impound the vehicle wasn't made when she decided to search. They began searching right away. They had not made a decision to impound the vehicle. In fact, on body cam, they debated on impounding it after the search was made. So nobody can say, well, they knew they were going to impound it, so they went ahead and started inventory. No, because they're on their own body cams talking about, we're going to impound it, I don't know, let's talk to Sarge. So they didn't know. And the DA got to see that because he brought it to our attention. I'm tough, man.
I have a question for you. Unrelated to all this.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, you said you and your wife were in a medical field. Respiratory therapy, something like that?
I'll never say.
Well, with that, I mean, my thought.
Because your body can't throw it, so I can't say.
What is your thought on the shop? Or
I've been hiding where I work forever, and
I'm not asking where you work.
I
I'm in that career for respiratory.
But if I can't, and let me tell you, the Fusion Center, they have tried so hard to figure out where I work, and they can't. And there's a very good reason they can't. They can't even go to Texas Workforce Commission and find out where the fuck I work. I've taken extreme precautions to make sure that they don't find that, because they call and try to get us fired. We literally have shirts with a business and a phone number on it, and it's our phone number. And, you know, it's an ongoing, we're trying to gather as much as we can of police officers calling and lying about what we did to somebody that they think is the boss of the company. It's hilarious.
What's your thought about the shot?
The vaccine?
The
shot?
vaccine.
Man, I'm a vaccine person, okay, first and foremost. The flu vaccine, I've never missed a shot. And my experience with the flu vaccine is that, and I have a compromised immune system. I've had diabetes since '96. I haven't had a viral infection in 14 years. And prior to that, I noticed that when 14 years ago I got the flu and for respiratory, I almost died. So I changed a lot about my approach to viruses, much like people. The main thing I did was wash hands and keep them away from my face. Because the doctor back then told me, wash your hands, keep them away from your face, and this will probably never happen to you again. And it hasn't. My point is that prior to that though, when I would get the flu, or when people around me were all getting the flu is a virus. Just like COVID-19, you contract it the same way. They're much different, but you contract them the same way. When everybody was getting sick around me, I took a little bit off for a day or two, that's it. Very mild symptoms. Everybody around me was shitting and vomiting and all kinds of stuff, right? So I believe, based on my experience, that vaccines in and of themselves, if they're properly taken and everything, that they work. They do something. They don't prevent you from getting anything. But they certainly can for some people. And I can tell you from my experience, they certainly, something is reducing the effects of the influenza. And so as far as the COVID-19 vaccine,
I don't know if you know today.
I have
There was only 12 active cases in Schertz.
Well, so it's definitely gone down.
I think the vaccine, I don't think there's anything wrong with taking the vaccine for COVID-19. My only concern is that we don't have enough data to really know if it's going to work, one, and I don't want to put anything in my body that I don't know if it's going to work. I smoke a little weed every now and then. But if I didn't know what it was going to do to me, I wouldn't smoke it. I'm not out there trying to smoke leaves off the ground, because I don't know what they would do for me, you know? That's my point. For me, there isn't enough data, right, to feel completely comfortable knowing that it's going to help. But I'm going to take it because I do know some facts. I do know that doing what I do for a living, I have seen a lot of people contract a virus, call it whatever you want it. Call it COVID, call it government created, but whatever it is, fucks them up bad. There's some patients that I've seen that it looks like they had a stroke. They're done with the COVID, they're fully recovered. It looks like they had a stroke. And then there's patients who, they're perfectly fine. They got COVID.
Yeah.
They have kidney failure. They're obese. They're elderly. They're on oxygen already for COPD. They got COVID. They became very ill really quick, but they're back to normal. There's like no rhyme or reason. You would think that person would be DOA, man, in a day. Because we know that people contract it and they're dead the next day. We know that. But there's no rhyme or reason for that stuff. I think the vaccines have been produced by the same people that have produced all the other vaccines. So certainly if you are a person who does take vaccines, I think that the benefit of taking it and it not working is a better option than just not taking it. If you don't take it, for sure it ain't gonna work. And you're not gonna have any antibodies unless you get the virus, right? You have to believe in science first.
I believe in science. I have trouble knowing that science can create a vaccine this quickly, considering everything else that we're doing.
So that's just education stuff. So you know how I am a very, what do you call it?
There's no doubt.
I'm
there's
very
no
persistent.
There's no statistics on what this cannot do, what any long-term effect. I mean, 34 years it took us to get smallpox vaccine.
Right.
And we still have cancer that we have. We're pushing more horrible things in our body to try and.
We're talking about things that aren't viral.
Right, but I'm saying if the scientific data is there for something for us to do in, say, 9 months, that in the past took 10 years going through the government. That's amazing.
It is. As far as the time frame, my wife, she's got 4 degrees, and she's extremely smart. She's been in healthcare for 20-something years.
Good Lord.
Yeah. Okay, look. She asked me if I was concerned about how fast the vaccine was made, considering all the other vaccines take years. And I was like, yeah, I said, that's a good question. So she doesn't have the time to be fucking around with stuff like that. She knows I'm very persistent and I'll dig. So I did. And what I learned, in a nutshell, is that all the other flu vaccines, and there's new flu vaccines created all the time, because there's new strains of flu that come out all the time.
Yeah.
The vaccine you took this year for the influenza may differ from last year, okay? And there's already vaccines in the works for other, okay? So all these vaccines take about that much time. The same amount of time that it took to get the COVID vaccine created. The reason it takes years is because of government red tape, trials, paperwork, review, committees,
I think there's
Capitol Hill.
a lot of good potential.
Who's gonna make the money?
Yeah. Well, that's my biggest, I'm not a conspiracy theorist person, but I'm sorry. I've had people-
Money drives the world.
I've had people that are back from cancer tell me my best option is chemo and radiation that is designed to kill you.
It's not conspiracy, it's
No big pharma makes the money.
rules the world, and that's it. So, but here's the thing, man. The COVID vaccine was created by the same people that created all the other stuff. I haven't had any adverse effects to it. It was created in the same time frame. The only thing that's different is all the government red tape was cut out of the process. But cutting out that government red tape means that we just don't have any data about that specific vaccine and how it's going to work like we have data for all this other stuff. We know that these other vaccines, people have reactions to them. You know, there's the whole autism thing and all that stuff, and those folks have very good reasons to think what they think. It's no different than me coming in here and thinking there's a cover-up, because I see something and it makes it look like a cover-up. So they experience something, but those things are just like any medicine you take. There's going to be problems and why? Is it the scientist's fault? Look, it's God. God is the one. Whoever made your body, because anything you try to put in your body that wasn't there originally, your body may reject it.
You can't take ibuprofen for.
Fuck, man. You may eat some shrimp tomorrow and be dead
Yeah.
because you don't have an EpiPen. But you can eat shrimp today
Yeah.
because it's not in your body already. And your body said, you know what? Fuck that. You can't eat shrimp no more.
And
You know what I mean?
it's crawfish season too.
So anything you put in your body, like the nursery family.
I want to get back to normal. I
Oh,
read
yeah.
everything, and you know, China's back there, and they're out clubbing and everything. You don't hear, of course, it's communist China, so you're not going to hear.
You're not gonna hear the truth.
We're not going to hear, you know.
Hell no, you're not gonna hear
Do
the
we see
truth.
them do the lockdown like it was during World War II? Absolutely. We saw that made the news, them locking everything down.
Yeah.
Do they have a vaccine? They say they didn't. I mean, there's, I don't know. The conspiracy theorist in me just sits there and goes, well, you know, there's also, you know, whatever they call a biohazard or the biolabs over there, this category 4, stage 4, whatever it is. You know, yeah, did they have one in Wuhan? Yeah, after the Bell reports, they had one.
Conspiracy theorists are gonna find everything wrong with everything, just like bootlickers find everything right about police, and anti-police people find everything wrong. And then you got people like I think me and you that sit there and just look at the facts.
Too
And,
many,
realize that sometimes it's both sides, not just one.
there's too many coincidences with this whole virus.
Yeah, it makes you wonder. There's a lot of things that make you wonder, man. Yeah,
It's man-made, there's no doubt about it.
yeah,
I mean, just everything, and
yeah. I
watch-
believe that.
I watch a lot of it, and the way they explain it, they all explain it the same way. There's no way it can't be man-made. Yeah, was it on a bat? Probably so, but then the receptors, how it's transmitted, all that other stuff was from other animals.
Look, I'll tell you this. This is from my
Crazy stuff.
personal experience. So yeah, fuck people up. Fuck them all bad. But a majority of the folks that have gotten it in front of me, mild symptoms that are good. Staff members around me that have gotten it, mild symptoms and they're good. Their whole fucking family got it. They got it and their whole fucking family got it. Everybody had mild symptoms. I don't fear getting it. Like if I got it, I wouldn't be scared of dying or thinking I'm gonna die, but I would definitely make sure my will is in order immediately. Because you don't know. It's like Russian roulette. Getting COVID is like Russian roulette.
Yeah, I mean, I had one person.
5 times it's not gonna kill you, but one is.
I know one person that got it and it was started off mild, and the next thing you know, they're like, and then the other 40 plus people that I know, yeah, they spent the holidays together or whatever, and one person got it in, so they're all, but they all had mildish symptoms, it's like the first 2 days were kind of bad, but after that it was ghost.
Hey, I wore myself out talking to sorry. You can let him know Jack said that I'm not gonna fuck with him. I really am not. I'm done with all that stuff tonight. So, I had to hit him up though after last week's conversation. He's a lot of fun. And look, dude, look at my face. He's a lot of fun. I'm not. He can just shut the fuck up. Like, I love folks that can't, they just can't, they gotta talk, for whatever reason, if they got a big ego or whatever. Dude, as soon as I see his jump boots, oh, I know I gotta ride one. It's those little things. You might as well have a sign that says, I'm the shit, and I'm gonna show you. Who the fuck wears jump boots? I don't know, man. Those things are the most uncomfortable things in the world for you.
I can't find a good boot.
Dude, but the jump boots though? I mean, and out of all the military style boots you could wear, he's wearing some jump boots from the fucking 60s. Come on, man. You wear those for parade, inspection, and you take them off and you put them back in your foot locker. Those things are rough. Even jungle boots are more comfortable than those damn things. Those are like you're hitting on hard plastic. I see some officers that I haven't seen before, so I just want to go introduce myself and talk to them for a minute. I'm not gonna mess with them.
No, you're fine.
I'm not gonna mess with them or get them in, I see one that I filmed on stuff, and he actually made a really good decision, man, that he didn't have to make, so. I'm gonna set this thing Same shit.
Yeah, same thing.
You do know I'll never harm you.
I'm sorry?
You do know I'll never harm anybody.
Yeah.
No matter how mad if you see me, and no matter how mad I look, I'm not mad. Really not.
Oh, that one you're talking about?
The one-
That's that whole time?
Yeah.
I see some guys I haven't seen before. I'm not gonna fuck with you guys or anything like that, but I thought I'd come around and say hi, things like that. So we've met before.
Yes.
All right, and you're McClendon. We met here?
Yeah.
Or out on the street?
When the vehicle was out, when the vehicle was
Oh, when it was unlocked?
Yeah,
That was you?
I was there with the sergeant, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, people like that one. Do you know what he's talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, people like that one. We did that to Alamo Heights. Alamo Heights busted a girl's window out. but she wouldn't give ID. She wasn't under arrest, she wasn't even detained. She fell asleep in her car at HEB. HEB called concerned about her welfare check. And they go out there and she wakes up. What happened was it was raining, which it was. And she just told them, yeah, you know, I was waiting until the rain stopped. And I was gonna go home, so I got a snack and I started reading a book. I fell asleep. And they were like, yeah, no problem, HEB called. No problem at all. You got any ID? She goes, ID for what? We just need to verify who you are. We got a call out here, so we need to have your information for our report. And she goes, yeah, I'm just gonna leave. I'm good. And they go, yeah, but we're gonna need your ID. Look, good. And she only cracked her window down a little bit. Turns out she's like a conspiracy theorist type person. She's a little mentally ill. So in her mind, I found out, in her mind, you know, she's not talking to nobody. Right. And when they started asking her for ID, she started panicking in her head, like, why do they want to know who I am? You know, what are they gonna do to me? Right. And they're like, you get out of the car, and she said that just, why do they want to get me out of the car now? Why can't I just leave? So she wasn't like, you know, it's my right, and I haven't broke the law, and I'm gonna be detained. None of that stuff. Yeah. She was just saying, no, I don't want to tell you what I did. Yeah, you can see it in her face. Long story short, they broke her fucking window, opened the door, pulled her out, handcuffed her, searched her car. The court who was in charge said, we have enough reasonable suspicion to search her car. That's how it is. Okay. And I don't even need to tell you what the problem is with that remark. But anyway, they didn't find anything in the car. They took the handcuffs off, wrote her a citation for failure to identify. They looked at her. Was it? She wasn't trespass warrant from HEB. HEB didn't. They tried to get a trespass warrant, and HEB said, no, I'm not going to trespass warrant. All I wanted you to do is check on her. What happened? You know. Oh, she wouldn't ID. She was supposed to ID. What the officer was telling HEB. So when that happened, you know, of course, I got all the body cam, dash cam, everything. That video hasn't gone out. It has not gone on YouTube. It's going to go out soon. Yes. But this happened a good year and a half ago. But she hasn't, you know, got her an attorney. They're working with the city on, you know, making her whole again. Yeah. And I think finally they're probably going to make her whole again, and which is good. Good police chief over there. I've sat down with her several times and met with her concerning that incident and others. Yeah. Good police chief. But in response to that, we just showed up to the department and did the same thing. Walked around, checking cars, making sure they're secure, making sure there's nothing, you know, a rifle left in the seat. Trying to bring it to the attention of the department, you know. Anything could happen. Found a patrol car locked. So I opened up the door, and I sat down in it, and I left 1 foot out of the car. Because you gotta have the whole body in there to be trespassing. It was all on video, so if you think I'm trying to steal something, well, there's video showing that I had no intent to commit theft. So what am I doing against the law? Nothing. Would you agree? Right. Well, what happens? Really nothing. Yeah. Not at that point. If you walk up and say, get out of my car, and I refuse, well, now I'm interfering with whatever you're doing. Yeah. But if I get out of the car, it's just a... Yeah. So anyway, I did that. We got on the phone with an aide, sitting in one of your patrol cars. She did lock the fucking door. Somebody's sitting there, and they're like, excuse me? Where are you at? I'm in your parking lot. Turn around and look out the window. Yeah. So that one was great. But you know what? They didn't get a video. Because sometimes they make a decision not to release a video. They do the right thing. Yeah. And they came out, and you know what I'm doing? I'm pushing them. They came out, didn't say, I'm worried about me sitting in the car. When they came out, I got it. They just walked up and they said, so it was you? I said, yeah, it was all right. He goes, okay, I'm sorry. Was there anything, did you see anything else that you want to show us or anything? And nope, just lock your cars before somebody steals them. It's taxpayer stuff. Taxpayers gonna have to. If somebody gets in this car, starts driving around, and T-bones my wife on the intersection, he's always chasing me, I'm not gonna be very happy about that. So just lock the car. So they did. That was like a drill sergeant with them. No problem. So they did the right thing. So they didn't give a video.
They underneath?
Have we ever met before?
No. Lozano.
How long have you been with the department?
Same as him. I came from Congress too.
You came from, both came from Congress. Okay.
Building copies
All right.
Are they right there?
You know my cousin, right? Says he
They're all the way
Jesse.
inside.
Jesse Prado.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my cousin.
They're all the way inside, but it's not gonna be a
We
school.
used to work together.
You're not a driver.
That's what he told me.
You know, I was in law enforcement for 13 years. I was a jailer and a peace officer. I stayed in jail all the time because that's what I wanted to do. But I did some patrol stuff too, and of course a ton of off duty, right?
You don't kind of.
But when I got out, anyway, so I was repo man.
Oh, okay.
Roadside assistance. I like the tow trucks. I like that stuff. And I like serving
That's a
people.
nut driver.
I like serving.
Yeah.
Don't have that function yet.
So like with
Yeah,
the,
it's small, and so I just gotta get the
the
background.
roadside,
So I
that's
got
my
to
position to help people out.
Whenever you came with
People freak out.
Yeah. That's what. Have you seen the Hero trucks?
Yeah, I love that shit.
They help us out a lot.
Dude, back in the day, before all that ever happened, when I was, doing off-duty jobs, back then, that was when people just started equipping their cars with lights to do lane closures. So right away, man, I had a big light bar on my Mazda Protege, a big fat rotating light bar.
Yeah.
On my Mazda Protege, right? The LEDs just started coming out, so I took an LED and I put it in the back window, and I would drive from here to Austin because I worked in Travis County, but I was moved up there. So I would drive 91 miles to work. And I would leave extra early. So that way when I'm driving down, somebody was on the side of the road, did exactly what they were doing. But Mazda Protege, I pulled it behind them, throw some lights on so people slow down, move over, help them call somebody. I love that stuff, man. You really help them out. Is that the end of the council meeting?
No, we just signing up to get out here quicker.
Yeah, so, you could do that back then, right? Probably your cousin.
Yeah.
Let me see. Man, I got 248. I'm just standing here shooting the breeze with some officers, guys. I thank y'all for watching. I need to save some batteries, so I'm gonna go. The council meeting is an executive session. Don't know how long that's gonna be. It could be just a few minutes more. It could be all night. But all the officers here. The sergeant, he's hiding in the back, so he's not coming out anymore. And I told you guys, watch this. I'm gonna make that sergeant go run and hide, and he did. So, kudos to him for making the right decision to leave rather than continue talking stupid stuff. But anyway, I'll put out a video. I did catch all his stupid comments and stuff on my other camera that he didn't know was running. So hopefully he'll learn to just keep his mouth shut. And these guys right here, they're fine. So if you see them, that's McClendon and Lozano. So these are cops you can approach and they're not going to be violating your rights. But the other officers that y'all saw in the video, from what I understand, they will be returning to the streets. I still have no reason to believe that they won't do similar things again. And I will continue working on this story until I'm convinced that the public is safe from those officers. When we get Chavarria trained on the taser, maybe he can have the taser back. And I'll address all those things I addressed tonight, and I'll continue working on it. I am trying to find out, and I will find out when Chavarria and Hennessy and all them, or Finnessy and all them people are going to be out. I'll get their schedules just like I did with SAPD, and I'll make sure the cameras are pointed at them as much as possible. So, thank y'all for watching, and have a good night.